learning like everyone else your age. It isn't an easy road to go back down, but to be able to share my personal experience is a special opportunity for me. Going into high school was an exciting time for me, but to top it all off, I got to enjoy my first year of it with my older brother. Growing up, Nick and I didn't always see eye to eye. Well, we still don't always see eye to eye, but we've grown up and became very good friends by the time I was a freshman. The worst that I could think of was the looming foresight of him graduating and going away to college the following year. I've always had my fears of something tragic happening, like an illness in the family, but I never thought that it would actually happen. But the saying, life changes in the blink of an eye, and my worst fears soon became a reality. My parents knew of the slim possibility of cancer originating from Nick's rare skin condition that he developed in October of 2011. My little brother Joey and I weren't really told a whole lot, especially in the beginning, since they didn't want us worrying. But as ever, and boy did it kill me. It really bothered me, and I needed to know what was wrong with my brother. So I managed to find reliable information online on the skin condition that I heard my parents talking about. I refused to believe that cancer would ever be in question, so I did all that I could to forget. I blink, and the next thing I know, it's mid-January 2012. Nick had had several doctor's appointments and tests done until then, and everything seemed to be fine. But I guess because I blink, life decided to do a 180. I remember that day like it was yesterday. How everything happened so quickly in a whirlwind, the emotions, the tears. Looking back, it seemed like a horrible dream that you can never really understand. I remember my mom crying, and I asked her over and over what was wrong, but she kept saying, "I'll tell you later." I ran through a list of what-ifs in my mind to try to figure things out on my own, and then it hit me. I remembered when I tried so hard to force into the back of my mind reality. Nick has cancer. It is impossible to truly convey the emotions felt when finding out news this devastating, but if I had to describe it in one word, that word would be denial. While we'll probably never know why this had to happen, but now we know that as challenging of a battle that cancer is, there's so many lessons that can be taken from it. When Nick was diagnosed with stage 2 of a rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the doctors told us that it was a slow-moving cancer and that the chemo would most likely not be needed for years. So, we continued on with our lives staying as positive as we could be. And at that time, I was preparing to compete for Miss Ohio's Outstanding Teen that coming June. It was an exciting time, but it was soon brought to a halt when the night before the competition, we found out that the cancer had spread through his bones and was now stage 4. In a matter of 5 months, what the doctor said was a slow-moving cancer, as it had gone from stage 2 to stage 4. Chemo then had to be started immediately. All I wanted to do was go home and be with my family, but Nick wouldn't let me give up something that I'd been working hard for. But to tell you the truth, I really didn't even want to be there. Seeing my brother after the competition was probably the most relieving, yet most difficult part of the day. I could see how sick and weak he was getting in his physical appearance, and I knew that I was about to go through the most difficult journey I've ever been on. Cancer is one of those situations where you truly don't know how difficult it is until you go through it yourself. When you see someone who's been fighting cancer and has lost their hair from treatments, it doesn't matter if you've been through it or not, you know that they're enduring so much, and it's sad. But I can't tell you how sad it is when someone you've known since you were born stops you on your way to your bedroom with a clump of hair in their hand, and all you can do is cry. A year or so prior to this, my aunt battled breast cancer and thankfully won her battle. It affected me like my brother affected me. What made this particularly challenging was living together under the same roof. I didn't see my aunt every day. I didn't really see the progression of her being worn down from treatments, and I didn't see her in her hardest, weakest days. I don't mean to sound resentful at all. I understood why things had to be the way that they were for the sake of my brother. But I won't lie, it wasn't easy. My little brother and I had to accept that you have to put others ahead of yourself because their health and well-being is much more important than anything else. Something that I personally learned was to be strong for myself and for others when it's hardest. From the very beginning of this battle, Nick held such a positive attitude. When things get tough, I tell myself to be strong like Nick. I tell myself that if he could fight cancer, I could fight whatever trivial thing that's bothering me. The worst is knowing that there's virtually nothing that you can do to help him get better. Sure, I could do things to help him feel comfortable. I could only wish that it was me so he wouldn't have to suffer. As my brother once said in a blog post, when there's not much left that you can do, you just have to pray and stay positive. And that's just what I did. The change of his view of life, physical appearance, and mental and emotional state truly gave me a better look at life. He taught me that in order to live a happy life, you can't take things for granted and you just have to appreciate what's given to you, no matter what the situation may be. He often referred to his cancer as a blessing in disguise. and I can absolutely agree with him. Cancer is truly a blessing in disguise. It brought my family closer together, it taught us all to appreciate life a little more, and it made our faith stronger. When we learned in September of 2012 that Nick was cancer-free, that's when we knew that this journey was truly a blessing. And Jeremy Cares is part of that blessing in disguise. My brother is a Renewal Cancer Survivor Scholarship, and last page. Generously accepted by my family to help Nick to work towards his dream of being a mechanical engineer in hopes to one day build roller coasters. And this year, I was blessed to be a recipient of the Sibling Scholarship, as I'll be taking my experiences and positive outlook on life with me to college in the coming year. Jeremy Cares has truly helped my family and others, and continues to fulfill their powerful mission to help families in need of hope. My family has been so blessed with hope by the support of Jeremy Cares, and I can assure you that all of your support of Jeremy Cares goes a long way. So thank you to all of you for supporting such an important organization and for coming out to the fundraiser today. I'd like to thank my parents for giving so much of themselves, as well as their love and full support to my brothers and I. And I'd especially like to thank Jeremy Cares for asking me to share my story today, and for helping me feel so special as a sibling, like I also won my battle with cancer. Thank you, and God bless you all.